In the previous video, we identified the composition of the CSI Board of Directors. In this video, we will discuss the various external and internal rules and guidelines that are in place to ensure that the CSI Board is directing the organization responsibly and legally. When a company is created, it is issued Articles of Incorporation, or Letters of Patent, by the government. These are government documents that recognize the new company as a legal entity and also set out basic operating purpose and structure of the organization. CSI is an incorporated not-for-profit organization, meaning that the fees CSI collects should all be spent by the end of the year. Therefore, we are incorporated under the Canadian Not-for-Profit Act and must follow the laws that fall under this piece of legislation. On top of this, CSI must follow all other applicable legislation, including health and safety, accessibility, employment, and municipal bylaws. Internally, CSI has some of its own rules that govern the board of directors and the organization. These rules are made up of bylaws and policies. Bylaws are a form of policies, but are generally regulated by government and are legally binding. This means they have the force of the law behind them. Bylaws are commonly related to the functioning of the board and its relationship with members and voting rights. Some examples of bylaws include amending a bylaw, number of directors, and voting rules. Policies are non-legally binding rules that govern the board. These are generally related to the processes and values that the board creates to guide their own actions. CSI has 4 categories of policies. Ends, which are the guiding statements that determine the purpose of the organization. Executive limitations, which outlines the boundaries of the president for how they may go about accomplishing the ends. Board management delegation, the framework for how the board and management interact, implement the ends, and monitor progress. Governance process, which provides structure and understanding of how the board operates and self-governs. If there are ever any discrepancies between any of the legislation and governing documents, then the following hierarchy applies. The law of the land is paramount. Therefore, the Canadian Not-for-Profit Act must be followed without exception. CSI's Articles of Incorporation, the foundational documents about our organization, follows next. CSI bylaws are next in line. And finally, board policies.